sports reporting. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down. You know nothing about sports.
Nuts prod not the beat.
You know nothing about sports.
Cause I'm
Put that in
on,
there.
wipe
Boom.
me down. Wipe me down.
Hello, America. We're back again. Another edition of You Know Nothing About Sports. And I don't think we do either, but we're going to give it our best shot today.
We know
Okay.
nothing, especially according to my picks I did last week.
Well, we're going to get to that. All right, so we were briefly discussing injuries, and then B. Wig had a pretty good segue into it. The first thing we're going to tackle is this Burfict issue. You know, K-Man brought up some good stuff saying that's the kind of people that Gruden want on his team. He wants nasty players.
Right.
So I'm assuming we all agree with Von Ted Burfict. You know, K-Man got the history written down. So K-Man, go first. What was the first thing he did, K-Man?
First thing he did was January 9th, 2016, earned his first suspension for helmet-to-helmet he delivered in a playoff game against the Steelers. Oh, yeah, that's when he knocked out Antonio Brown. Then in August 19th of 2017, he got in hot water for a hit in a preseason game on a fullback, Anthony Sherman.
Mm-hmm.
Then November 12th, 2017, he was ejected against the Tennessee Titans for making contact with an official.
Okay. Hold on. That's three strikes. So you got more, K-Man?
Yep, 2018, he was suspended for 4 games. Oh, for this is for performance enhancing drugs. And 2019 was the helmet-to-helmet on Doyle.
Well, he got a 5-bagger. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Right.
All right, what you think, B?
I don't know, cause I've heard players from both sides saying, you know, he's not this malicious, crazy dude. He just loves the game of football and he plays the game of football the way it's supposed to be played physically. And then you have those that say he's crazy. He's out there trying to hurt dudes. And really, you have evidence on both sides. Because some of those things that Kennedy just ran off, some of those things, it looked like he was trying to do the dude in.
Yeah.
You know, and Sunday was an example of that.
All right, K-Man. I know how you feel, K-Man. So my second part of the question, and I'm always do this because me and the K-Man were talking earlier, B. It is a business, right?
Mhm.
So if you're starting a franchise, would you want this guy to be your middle linebacker, the enforcer in the middle? K-Man, you go first.
No, because I can't trust him. If you're constantly trying to hurt people, then you're not available on Sundays. I gotta allocate, knowing that 4 games you're not going to play, 6 games you're not going to play because of the dirty play. You're not intimidating anybody with your play. You're just going out there and just being an animal, I guess, for yourself. So that I need. What's that old saying that you hear a lot now? The best ability is availability, and you can't rely on this guy. So no.
All right, B, what you think?
No, one, because this dude ain't a franchise cornerstone. He's a well-known guy. He's more known for his dirty plays than he is for his play. He's a decent player when he's available, when he's out there, but you know, that just pads the idea that no, I don't I don't want him. I don't even want him as a backup on my team. I don't want him to start because of what Kennedy said, and I don't want him as a backup because he's not that good of a player. I mean, he's all right, but he's not a difference maker.
Okay. All right. That being said, so you guys are telling me you don't want that tough Mike Singletary middle linebacker that can stuff the run, that gets everybody hype and juiced up. So you would rather play it safe and then let him run up the middle on you.
Okay, so I want that, but Burfict ain't that.
Right. What you're
Mike Singletary.
Right. What you're saying is Burfict is the only kind of cat that can, make those type of plays, which is, is very far from the truth. Now, give me Mike Singletary. Give me a Mike Singletary type dude any day, because Mike Singletary was crazy, but he was a good crazy.
Right.
He was a good crazy. Like, he hurt dudes just because he was a maniac out there, not because he was trying to be malicious about it.
Hold on,
but he also was a maniac.
You say
in the play. He didn't hurt people. He was a maniac, but he did his job, because also as the middle linebacker, he was the quarterback for the defense. Right. His job was to get everybody in place and then go out there and do what you have to do. Like, remember, LT Plant was a maniac, but he still was. I mean, I still go back to that video of the Theismann play.
Yeah.
If he was like a real maniac, he'd be like, yeah, and kick Theismann in the shin as his bone is popping out. Right. No, he's the first person to pop up and yell over, wave his hands over to the training staff, and then he went over there and then was almost like weeping because of what he did.
Look, and I agree. I agree, but that and I would just say this: that injury was so bad that it took the edge off the powder.
Oh man! All right.
What's that Howard Cosell's line? Lawrence Taylor has some of the cleanest urine you'll ever see.
All right, man. Look, we gonna get off of Burfict now. We're gonna move on to the regular injuries. So one of my picks for devastating injury was Trubisky's dislocated shoulder. So B Wig, who did you see have a real bad injury other than Trubisky this past week, I should say?
My left tackle, Tyron Smith. Late in the game, Dak got sacked and he rolled up on Tyron Smith's ankle. They're calling it a high ankle sprain. He's not gonna play this Sunday.
Mm-mm.
With those, you could come back in 3 weeks. You could come back in 10 weeks. So that's a very, very big injury. I don't know. I don't know if you saw Marcus Davenport going against Cam Fleming, our backup left tackle, but it was not pretty. Mm-hmm. So, and I'll get to that, later on when we do picks. But yeah, Tyron Smith, man.
Who you got, K, man?
So I don't want to come off as a homer, but the reason I'm going to pick Bradley Chubb, and it's the reason why I don't feel that Trubisky's injury was that devastating, because the Bears' offense looked better without him. So it wasn't that devastating.
That's where I was going to go with that.
Chase Daniels is slinging that joint.
Exactly. Like, devastating means, oh my God, it's a Drew Brees. What are we going to do? Oh my God, how are we going to fill this void for this loss of period of time? It was like, hey, let's get a little bit better. And then that's what happened.
I text her and say, I'm like, why did the Saints get rid of Chase Daniel? I don't believe this.
Yeah. But yeah, for me it's Bradley Chubb. He was part. I mean, even with as bad as the Denver Broncos defense had been playing, he was the one bright spot. He has a tortuously torn ACL. I mean, he tore it early in the third and still came back and played because no one knew, because of the heat and the high altitude. They just thought it was cramping, and they come out and find out and then what happened was, I mean, it should have been some kind of notice. The dude, Bradley Chubb, comes to the sideline and starts crying. That should have been like a warning sign to the trainers, like, something's wrong.
Right.
But that's a devastating injury because of it takes away from a development. This is the second year. I mean, he's getting better and better, but
Good point, Kate, man. You're on the Broncos. So we're gonna go into these winless teams. So the first one that you can see on my notes are the 0-4 Redskins. Now, oh man, the only thing I can say is that the case of the Keeners has happened. He's down. Haskins came in, didn't look good. I think they're going to be 0-5, man. So my question to y'all: out of all the winless teams that I put up here, which one do you think could possibly go like I would say 2-14 or worse? Go ahead,
Oh,
K-Man.
that's easy. The Dolphins, because they're trying to do that. I don't think the Bengals are trying to. The Bengals are playing hard, but the Jets, they just got injuries because for some reason their quarterback got mono in 2019. I don't know how that happened. The Broncos should be actually 2-2. The Skins, no, I think they probably win like 3 games, 4 games. The Cardinals, their defense stinks, but I still think they might get a couple. But the Dolphins are actively trying to lose. They're trying to get picks. They are trying to build up a war chest. They are trying to essentially mimic what the Browns did the last couple of years.
Yeah, good point. So what you think, B?
Yeah, the same way. The Dolphins, they're clearly the worst team of that group. I think the best team of that group, as bad as that sounds, is Cincinnati. You know, they I don't understand like how they're 0-4. I mean, they got a decent quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
They got talent at receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They have good talent at running back.
Mm-hmm.
Both lines are okay. They're not great. They're okay. I don't understand why they're winless. But yeah, the Dolphins, man, clearly they're trying. You know, they're finding new and innovative ways to scheme up a losing game plan each Sunday.
Yeah.
Brandon, I can actually answer your question. Why Cincinnati's that way?
Why?
Because they're
the
kind
coach.
No,
Yeah.
because they're kind of tanking too.
Well, you think they're done? You think they're done with Andy?
Andy's gone. They brought in a young coach and they brought in a young staff, not to win right now. They're trying to get one of the top quarterbacks, and they're trying to and they have as you said, the line is good. So whoever they get as a quarterback, they choose to be the one a quarterback. They're going to come in with a good line. They're going to have a good running back.
What is
and
his
then they
contract?
can build from that.
What does his contract look like?
His contract, he signed the same contract. He signed the same similar deal to Colin Kaepernick, only like a month away. So I think they can walk away from this deal.
Okay, good, because I love him as my backup quarterback next season.
That's crazy. All right, so the 4 undefeated teams. My question around these, well, I'm sorry, 3. Out of these 3 teams, which team do you all think will have the best record in the regular season? Who do you think, B?
Patriots.
Why? Because of their schedule?
Because I think the Chiefs play in a tougher division than they do.
Yeah,
so I mean,
can't argue with that one.
Nobody's beating the Patriots in the AFC East.
But don't you got to give Buffalo some credit with their defense this past week?
You don't get credit for losing.
All right,
sorry, I mean, you were good enough to lose.
Yeah.
Who you think, K-Man?
I hate to say this, but actually it's Kansas City. It's quiet that no one's saying about the Patriots is they got a lot of injuries. Brady, that 40 is starting at 42 is starting to show. Gostkowski, who was a weapon. Like a lot of people talk about the transition, how people go from one quarterback to this, but they went from one of the greatest kicker of all time to a top 10 kicker, and it just announced that he's having season injury hip surgery. Josh Gordon is on the list. Their left tackle, it was a left tackle or right tackle, is on the IR. The injuries are starting to pile up for them.
Tackle.
The injuries are starting to pile up for them. While Kansas City, Tyreek Hill's about to start to come back. Williams is going to come back soon. So they might be starting to get a little bit more healthier. So And yes, the AFC West is harder than the AFC East.
Yeah.
But, the Broncos, the Raiders, LA underachieving. So, yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Oh, that's a good one, man. I'm on the fence between both of them, man. I know the Pats have an easier path than the Chiefs,
Yes, they
and
do.
the 49ers could possibly win the NFC West, but I'm not sure how far that's going to get them. It'll probably get them into the playoffs, but unless Seattle, wraps it up.
Can I just run off New England's remaining schedule?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
At Washington versus the Giants.
Win.
At the Jets.
Win.
Versus the Browns.
Win.
At the Ravens.
Win.
At Philly.
That might be a win.
Yeah, that might be a good. But it's not like a. I'm not going to win. Like
versus Dallas.
Where?
In Dallas.
In Dallas.
No. It's in New England.
When? In November?
They'll win that game.
Yeah, they'll win that game.
At Houston.
Don't win.
At home against Kansas City.
That's going to be a good game, though.
That's going to be a good game, but
it will be.
I see a win.
It will be, but they'll be like 12-2. They'll be like 11-2. At Cincinnati.
Win.
And then at home against Buffalo and Miami. They're winning 13 games.
Yeah, at least.
Injuries aside, they're winning 13 games.
Yeah.
One thing I can say, man, is that they'll probably see the Chiefs again in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can really say, man. All right, so as you can see in my notes, man, week 4, what stood out was I got to say it, man, my Saints winning it again without Drew Brees. It's unbelievable. They managed that game.
They did.
It was a good game, and they managed it.
Yeah,
but
kudos to your defense.
Yeah.
Because y'all didn't play a lot of 8 and 9 man fronts.
Nope.
Y'all were in a lot of 6 and 7 man fronts, and y'all gave our line the business all night. Zeke had nowhere. I think his longest run may have been like 8 or 9 yards, maybe. But he got shut down. So yeah, kudos to y'all. For me, it was while I'm talking about defense, let's go ahead and bring up the Rams.
Yes. Let's do that.
Wade Phillips, bruh.
Oh.
you give up 48 points. The team gave up 55, but one of them was Ndamukong Suh. Shout out to Ndamukong Suh for giving it to his team, giving his old team a tutty. But your defense gave up 48 points at home to Jameis Winston.
Yes,
I know.
And you still in Vegas still likes them to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I don't know why.
I don't know what got into Jameis Winston. I mean,
the better question is what has gotten into Jared Goff.
Oh yeah.
He looking a lot like Flacco did when Flacco got his money.
What got into him? Just got paid Friday night. Party's jumping.
And look.
He in LA with stacks. Come on.
Right.
Hey, look, what did Jerry say? Kramer said, it's LA, Jerry. Nobody leaves.
Right.
He hitting every little spot. He got some little young actors on his arm, left to, come on now.
Yeah. That team has a lot of issues, man. Goff's not playing well. The offensive line's not playing well. Pass blocking or run blocking. The defense is in shambles. They got issues.
My thing is, how come they're not using Todd Gurley?
They're scared.
They're scared. They're scared. They're scared he's going to get hurt. He has look at this point of his career, of his young career. He's got delicate knees. His knees are delicate.
He tore his ACL in Georgia.
Yeah,
in Georgia.
Jimmy legs.
Right. Yeah.
Look, they rode him. They rode him
last year.
Rode him last year.
Like Seabiscuit.
And what happened? Like Seabiscuit. I mean, well, what they showed at the end of the credits of that movie that they didn't show, Seabiscuit got taken out to the back.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
I mean, they
Sorry
had to
for
bring in CJ.
all our horse lovers in the audience.
Yeah, yeah, all our horse lovers who like watching Kentucky Derby, where a little man is riding a horse, beating him to go faster. Ooh, great.
Okay, so what y'all telling me? I want to pose this question. So what y'all telling me is that the Rams and some of these teams are trying to be like the NBA. Certain games are going to rest their players, saving them for later on in the season.
Mm-hmm.
That's dangerous to do with running backs though, because that position is very much predicated on rhythm.
Yeah.
If you're not in there getting those reps with the starting offensive line, yeah, they're not opening up holes right now, but still, it's a rhythm. Once you get in sync, I mean, it's with any great running back, Zeke, Le'Veon Bell, their game is heavily reliant on being in rhythm with their offensive line, and if they're not getting those reps, then they don't have that rhythm and they're not effective.
Good point.
That has a lot to do with it also. It's not that they're just not playing him. He hasn't had the reps in order to get into that rhythm.
Yes. And then also maybe they smelling themselves. And so this is now Sean McVay's turn to show up. I mean, you're the genius. You're the one everybody wants to emulate. They're hiring all these little 20-year-olds. He shook Sean McVay's hand, so maybe his mojo was going to run off on him. Well, so this is the time when your team seems to be in slight turmoil, where you have a bottom feeder come into your house and lay it to you. This is where you start to, coach a little bit better. Because unlike the NBA, when they do the low management thing, the NBA goes from like October to April. And that only goes to like September to maybe the first week of January, the last week of December.
Yeah.
I mean, it's more physical, but it's not that long.
Right.
So, and you want home field, even though your stadium really isn't home field, but still you want home field. But also, listen.
Hey, now go ahead.
They're going to be buyers. They're going to be buyers at the trade deadline, which is lucky for me because maybe they might be giving away some 2s and 3s for a corner they need and a wide receiver that they desperately need. They need a number 1. They don't have it.
All right, K-Man. All right, so the next segment was, K-Man came up with a good idea on this one. The first quarter of the season. B-Wig, what are your thoughts?
I know nothing about. I know, like really. Outside of what? 2 teams. Well, out of the good teams that we know are good. What? 2, 3, maybe. The rest. I mean, definitively who's good. You know definitively who's bad. You got a lot of teams that's floating in that gray area because you don't know what they are. You don't know what Dallas is. You really don't know what the Saints are. You don't know what Seattle is because they just lost to the Saints at home. So
I can throw another one in. We don't know what Detroit. We don't know what Detroit is.
Nah, and we don't know what San Francisco is.
Yeah,
we have no idea. So it's I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the first 4 weeks, but it's just things are still very blurry.
So wait a minute. So my question to you on that, B-Wig. So you saying we know who the Patriots are? Y'all said all these other teams, but we don't know. But no one said we don't know who the Patriots are after they played Buffalo, who had a good defense.
We know who the Patriots are.
We know who the Patriots are. They've been the same team they've been since 2001.
I mean,
a model of consistency.
Right. I mean, we know what they are. We know where they're going to end up in one of the championship games, whether it be the conference championship or the league championship.
All right, K-Man. So what are your thoughts, K-Man?
my thoughts are on certain things that are like a little bit goofy to me, and so far in the first quarter. Um, One, I'm bringing up Detroit Lions. I don't know how to judge them. Now, I can say this. Some people will call me a hater. I don't know. I'm not a hater. I have biases, and shut up.
You do.
And I hold on to those biases. And I am not a fan of their head coach. But man, that team is playing tough. Besides that goofiness of the first game, they've been really playing tough
I give you that.
in sound football.
Do you know why?
But I still don't trust them. So
you,
that's why I call it goofy.
do you know why they look so tough?
The defense.
The quarterback.
Well,
Matthew Stafford is probably the most underrated top 10, 15 quarterback in the NFL. Tough as nails.
If you look at their defense play, all their corners play man to man. It's like no, and I was trying to put my finger on it when I was watching them. I'm like, man, what the heck is the defense? But then when I started looking at the coverage, I'm like, man, I said everybody's playing man to man. I'm like, really?
They play man and they're physical. You got some teams that play man and the receivers never get touched off the line.
That's going to be a problem for Aaron Rodgers. Whenever Trubisky come back, but it's going to be a problem for them going against any team like that. If they play Tom Brady, that's the best way to play Tom Brady. Don't play zone because he'll pick you apart. You playing man to man, you playing physical like that, it's going to be hard.
Yeah, play man to man, pray for a pass rush.
Yeah, really.
I'm going to tell you, for me, man, what stood out for me the first quarter is how the NFL came up with this thing, of course, because of the no call against my team. This pass interference challenge crap. It's not working. It's not working.
No, it's not.
They need to get rid of it. I understand Roger Goodell. I'm going to tell you, that dude was scared to come to New Orleans because I'm going to tell you, man, I heard, I can't say it, let me be quiet. Hey, but I'm going to tell you another thing, man.
You're going to stay in Fayetteville.
I'm going to give a big shout out to us because the K-Man brought it up. I think we did our first podcast. Is preseason necessary? With all this collective bargaining agreement, they're going to cut it down to 2 games and then extend it. And then I'll give credit to you guys because both of you guys told me the owners don't care about that. The owners trying to make money. And over the past week, I've heard several analysts say the same thing. They're just worried about putting butts in the seats to get the revenue going. I think one of you guys mentioned that was Dan Snyder's main thing or something like that. But
yeah, I mean that's well known. I mean, not even just amongst us, but across the league, people know who Dan Snyder is.
Yeah, and then Ballers. Ballers, that's a principal storyline on their final season is owners in 18 games and more money, but don't care about the player safety.
Right.
But that circles back around to protecting the players and putting a good brand out there. So you saying some owners don't care who they put out there as long as people come to the games.
Yeah. They had that, remember, 1987 replacement players.
Well,
yeah.
Just a bunch of scabs out there because they want butts and seats. They didn't care.
Now, for teams like the Redskins, for teams like that, whose fan base, most of their fan base have given up on them, it matters who you put out on the field because, even if Dwayne Haskins threw 3 interceptions his first game out, they're gonna come back and see him when he plays at home. Because it's something new, it's a new toy, and they're excited about it.
Bright shiny object.
I got something for y'all. I got something for you, B Wig. Then we're gonna move on to the predictions. So B Wig, if my homie doesn't get his contract and leaves the Cowboys, do you think less people will come to the Cowboys games, or there's gonna be the same amount of fans showing up at the stadium?
Man, it may be more. Listen, one thing that you will never have to worry about is Dallas Cowboys fans tailing off. Dude, some of us might be crazy. Some of us might be most of us might be delusional. But one thing you cannot take away from us is we love our team. We're passionate about our team, and that'll never change. There will always be butts in AT&T Stadium, regardless of who's on the field.
Okay, so I'm gonna piggyback on that. I don't know about the whole love my team, but there will always be butts in that stadium because Jerry Jones will get butts in that stadium. That's why he built that stadium to be like that, because visiting fans, like, I need to go to, I need to see the stadium. I need to see the screen. I need to see all the things that they put in, and that's why Jerry built it. He didn't build that thing for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
He built it
For everybody.
Everybody all year round. And that's the genius of,
and outside of football too.
Outside.
Well, yeah.
Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao at his height fought 2 boxing matches there.
College games.
Yeah. College football games.
Rascal Flats.
Yeah. I think they had a couple of those WrestleManias in there and stuff like that. Yeah.
So, K-Man,
NCAA tournament has been there. Come on.
Yep. So, K-Man, I'm gonna flip it to your team, the Broncos. What do you think your front office has to do to keep a consistent fan base coming to the games?
Well, the problem is they don't have a consistent fan base coming to the games because they've been beaten down. They've seen. Let me give you a nice little walk down memory lane. This is beautiful, man.
CB, this when you need some music from memory lane.
Right. I got
you. Who bought the team in 1984 and pretty much said, I want to be in the Super Bowl every year. Now, realistically, you're not going to be in the Super Bowl every year. But he wanted to build a winning culture. And he did that. And that's why he was the fastest owner to get 300 wins in the history of the league. That type of mentality makes people like, this is a hot ticket. I got to go see this team. And then you add on that you had number 7, John Elway, for all them years. Oh, I got to see him. It tailed off. But then I got number 18. I got to see him. But, well, now you're in a lull. And that owner's passed. And the consistency that he always wanted is no longer there. And it's reflecting on the product on the field. And that is reflecting on the people coming to the stadium. So you have to, essentially, everybody knows, you have to win and they will come.
And look,
it's not build it and they will come. Win and they will come.
Good point, K-Man. Then we're gonna segue into these predictions. But since you said that, K-Man, you gotta want it.
Gotta.
Shout out to Izzy Mandelbaum.
Yeah.
He think you're better than me.
It's go time.
Yeah, K-Man.
Mandelbaum.
You think you're better than him?
You think you're better than him?
What TV?
All right, man. So we're gonna start with the predictions, man. So the 2 teams on a bye this week, and I'm gonna laugh at one of the teams. Teams on a bye this week. One is the Lions and one is the Dolphins. Do the Dolphins really need a bye? But all right.
Yeah, because hey, look, I gotta go grocery shopping. I can't be wearing paper bags.
hey, look, it's still Miami and it's still warm.
Yeah, but it is.
Yeah, but it's also Florida, so.
All right, so tomorrow's night game, man, I think it's gonna be a good one. Rams versus the Seahawks. I got the Rams. Who you got, B?
Seahawks.
Why? Well, let me ask you. Why? Because the way the Rams played last week?
That and Russell Wilson is playing better than Jared Goff. Seattle's offensive line is playing better than the Rams' offensive line.
Yeah, I ain't think about the quarterback battle, B. Okay.
Yeah, so give me the Seahawks.
All right, K-Man, who you got?
I got the Seahawks. It's mainly because of that defense. That was embarrassing. I mean, now I will say this: Tampa Bay is coached by one of the best offensive minds in the game. And Tampa Bay does have weapons. But you're the defending NFC champions. You can't let them come in your house and just run up and down on you.
Right.
And you made a good point, K-Man. They ran him up and down the field, dude. And my thing is, it looked like towards the end of that game, the Rams just gave up. They just were like, it was like they said, okay, yeah, we beat, man. Okay. All right, let's go home and eat some fried chicken.
The defense definitely gave up.
Man.
And then Marcus Peters, man, he got so heated at Mike Evans for stunting on the way to the end zone. And then he got the pick six, but he got laid out. He got laid out, and as a matter of fact, he got knocked out of the game on that.
Yes, he did.
So that's really funny.
All right, so the other games go. Let's see, Jacksonville versus the Panthers. I'm taking the Jags because I stick with my homeboy Leonard Fournette. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Panthers. I seen the Jaguars up close. Yeah, I like Minshew, but let's be for real. Minshew ain't got no arm.
He got hit, man. He got them.
He really doesn't. Do you remember? Y'all remember Danny Werfel?
Yes, yes, we do.
He looks like Danny Werfel. Danny Werfel had a noodle arm if there ever was one. That's what Gardner Minshew's arm looks like.
Yeah, but what Danny Werfel doesn't have, the Gardner Minshew does have, is he has the belief of his teammates, and he got swag.
And he ain't scared of nothing either.
He ain't scared of nothing. Just look at that touchdown play that he threw, where he was essentially dancing inside the pocket, trying to create space to throw. That is Minshew magic right there. Right. But I like Carolina better at home.
All right, man. All right, so the next game, two winless teams, Cards and the Bengals. For some reason, I put down the Cardinals, man. Who you got, B?
Bengals. Until little man proves me otherwise.
Pikachu? Yeah.
Yeah.
Who you got, K, man?
I got Bengals. It's not more about Lil Man. It's about whoever the DC for the Cardinals, who's an absolute joke.
Yeah, he putting up some points on them. All right.
And let's be for real. The Cardinals have no talent. They have no.
They do. They just old. They're used up.
Yeah, Fitzgerald.
So once again, they have no talent, and this goes to having a bunch of alcoholics in up and down that front office. Also, rest in peace to the owner who died.
Yeah.
All right, man. So the next game, the Falcons versus the Texans. You know I'm never picking the Falcons, so I picked the Texans. Who you got, K-Man?
I got the Texans, and y'all saw that video where the reporter asked Deshaun Watson about the play design, and so a lot of people are like, oh, he's stunning on that reporter. No, the reporter asked a question and he described it. The problem, what that showed to me too is, one, he's very bright and intelligent, but in this game he should win because one team is soft, but his growth process is being hurt by the individual who coaches him.
I agree with you. You know, who you got, B?
The Texans.
Yeah.
There's no reason to pick the Falcons in this game.
Yeah, and to your point, K, man, you brought up a good point. When I heard that interview, man, how Deshaun Watson broke down everything, man, I was like, wow, okay. I said, my man understands. He tells me that he understands coverages. Okay.
Yep, he does. Smart kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. The problem is he ain't calling the plays.
Exactly. Right. All right, so this is a 1:00 game. Y'all know who I got. Bucks versus the Saints. I ain't even gotta say nothing. Who you got, B-Weed?
I'm not falling for the victim of the moment type stuff. Give me the Saints.
All right. And look, I'm gonna tell you, man. I picked the Saints, but I'm kind of worried about the Bucks after what they did to the Rams. Who you got,
See,
man?
that's why I picked the Saints.
Yeah,
because I don't think that was real.
Yeah.
Who you got, K, man? Saints.
I have the Saints, and that's the reason I have the Saints is because the Bucks gonna think, oh, we did that to L.A. We can do the same thing to the Saints, and we're gonna have that same game plan, and they're just gonna be throwing pick sixes and fumbling and all types of goofiness caused by that unbelievable atmosphere called the Superdome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. All right,
See, for everybody who's listening, you're gonna hear a lot of Seinfeld references on this podcast because between the three of us, there isn't an episode that we haven't seen more than 10 times.
Yep.
With the Saints are two-faced. They're a different team inside of that building. I don't care what their record is. I don't care who they're missing. They're a different team inside that building.
Yeah.
You know what? I kind of agree with you, but when they won in Seattle with Teddy Bridgewater, I was like, I did the little Seinfeld head turn when they said his parents said they liked the girl. He went,
yeah. he owes it to his defense. The defense has saved both of these last two games. The defense has bailed him out because he hasn't played well.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't played well.
But also he hasn't played well, and then also the play calling is very vanilla.
Yeah,
it is very rudimentary, and I don't understand. And maybe they're just saying, okay, this is working for a while, and so we're not going to make the switch to the other quarterback, who I think would be a little bit more. The play calling will be a little bit more creative. So
all of Bridgewater's reads are 5 to 10 yards from the line of scrimmage, unless your name is Michael Thomason, which is 15 yards.
Yeah.
So,
and then we got what's that song by the Migos, Slippery? That's Kamara.
yeah, really.
All right, so we got the Vikings versus the Giants. To me, this was interesting, man, but for some reason I picked the Vikings. Who you got, K, man?
I have the Vikings. At some point in time, we really got to talk about the robbery that Kirk Cousins has done on that organization. I mean, that is that is some kind of Billy the Kid type situation that he has done.
But you know what? That goes along with y'all theme, K, man. When you and what y'all B-Week said earlier about Jared Goff, he got his money, right?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
But here's the thing: but Kirk Cousins' deal is only 3 years, so he's up for new money. So the way he's playing, he ain't seeing that. He's never gonna see $28 million again.
No.
And now the focal point of the team is like, man, if they just had a quarterback to go with that offense and a good defense, not a great defense, but a good defense, where would they be? Mm-hmm. And so Rick Spielman is probably thinking the same thing himself, like, oh, we just had a QB and we paid this fool $28 million? Now, I didn't think he was worth. I never thought he was worth the $28. But I think their organization came at it like we did. Man, I think Kurt is good. Now, all the shortcomings, that's attributed to him being with the Redskins. Let him come with us and he'd be better. Well, the Redskins were kind of right on this one. He wasn't worth it.
Who you got, B?
Give me the Vikings. As bad as Kurt is looking right now, he's still better than Daniel Jones. They have the better running back. They have a better team.
Yes. The
Vikings cannot afford to blow this game. Vikings, Mike Zimmer, do not blow this game. This is as gimme as it's gonna get on your schedule. Don't blow this game.
All right, man. All right, so we got the Bears versus the Raiders, man. I'm taking the Bears, because I'm a Chase Daniel fan. Who you got, K, man?
Whew, man. There's a dude that wears number 52 for the Chicago Bears. He gonna remind them what his name is on Sunday. Oh, I don't think he'll do it because he seems kind of like he ain't that dude. He ain't me because I would do it.
Okay,
but at one point,
so K, man, hold on. So you say he's not a Vontaze Burfict?
No, he ain't that. But for some reason I just see a strip sack and him taking the ball and him just looking at that sideline. And it's like, oh, so you gave this guy money, but you didn't want to give me money.
Hey, K-Man, this is a family show, man. Strip sack, man. Come on, man. I B, who you got?
I'll pick the Bears.
I can't pick against the Bears in this game. Same reasons Kennedy said.
Yeah.
But I will say this. The dude they replaced him with is not a slouch, and I think given the build up to the game, I think he'll have a big game. Cleveland Ferrell, he's a stud. He's a stud. I would take Khalil Mack over him any day, but I think he was worth his draft position.
Yeah, I kind of
Oakland caught a lot of flack when they took him when they did, but he's a good player, man. I like him.
I kind of agree with the K, man. I think my man Mack gonna have something special for them.
Oh yeah, he probably either have a pick six or scoop and score.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this game, man, if everybody was healthy for the Jets, I'd say this would be a pretty good game. But Jets versus the Eagles, I'm taking the Eagles. Who you got, B?
There's no way the Eagles lose this game. Not with who the Jets have at quarterback. There's no way the Eagles lose this game at home. Now watch them do it, but I'm taking the Eagles.
All right, K, man, who you got?
Eagles. You know commentary to this. Come on.
Yeah, I'll get ready to say. All right, okay, let's move on. Ravens. Now this is gonna be a pretty good game. Ravens versus the Steelers. I'm taking the Ravens. Who you got, K, man?
I'm going with the Ravens only because the Steelers don't have the defensive personnel to stop the Ravens' offense.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson will have a field day.
I don't think he's going to have a field day, but I just don't think they have the personnel to stop the Ravens' offense. And then also the Ravens' defense, who talked a lot leading up to that game to the Browns. They got to make it up.
Yeah, what happened to them?
But look, they lost the game. They lost that game. But I gotta give a shout out to one player who had a big win in that game. One Marlon Humphrey. Dude, I salute you. You didn't choke Odell like everybody thought you did. The video clearly shows that you had him by the collar. You had another grown man by the collar on his back on the field. I salute you.
All right, so B, what you saying that? You think he's a dirty player? That's a dirty move.
Nah, he's a bully. He come from Alabama. He's a Nick Saban cat. He's a bully, and he picks on soft players. He's an alpha dog at that position.
I'm sorry to say this, Sean, but what happened was what normally happens in November. Alabama roughs up LSU in front of everybody.
See, I won't go take it that far.
I will. I don't care.
Look, we'll see this year. LSU is averaging almost 59 points a game. We number one.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Hey, B, who you got, B?
Give me the Ravens, man.
All right, so this game is gonna be interesting too, man. Bills versus the Titans. I'm taking the Bills, man, because I like the Bills defense. I don't think the Titans gonna score. Who you going with, B?
The Bills are a better coached team than the Titans are. There's no reason why the Titans' record should be what it is right now. The Bills are a better coached team. You know, as bad as Josh Allen is, if he's gonna play, I like the Bills in this game, man.
All right, who you got, K, man?
I got the Titans.
Oh, wait a minute.
This is gonna be an old school game. This is just gonna be a war of attrition, field position, field goals. But because I can't believe I'm saying this, Josh Allen isn't playing, I don't see the Bills being able to move the ball that well. While I think the Titans can move the ball just enough to get a couple field goals in, maybe like 3 field goals, and I could see a 9-7, 17-14 type game.
I'm gonna tell you, if the Titans win, this will be because of my boy running the football, man. Big dude. He gonna break one of them long runs, man. So, all right. The next game on the schedule is the Broncos versus the Chargers. K, man, who you taking?
Come on, man, leave me alone. Why are you picking on me? I got the Chargers.
All right, B, who you got?
Melvin Gordon's coming back. You saw what Leonard Fournette did. Derek Wolfe, Adam Gossis, Shelby Harris stink.
Who you got, B?
It's the Chargers, man. I watched a little bit of the Broncos Jaguars game. Joe Flacco, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, you one of the few dudes in the NFL that can throw the ball 70 yards. That dude takes a drop back, looks, closes his eyes, and just throws it hard. No matter if he's throwing it at his team or the opposing team, he just throws it hard.
But I will say this: he did lead him down with 1:30 with a lead. He let him down to touchdown, and once again, the defense let him down. So Joe Flacco is doing his job.
That's a good point, K-Man, because even in Baltimore, Flacco is known for being one of the better quarterbacks at the 2-minute drill. Right.
The problem with Joe Flacco is the offense they have is very young, and he's so even keel. And this is where the person that his counterpart last week was totally opposite. Young guy, fiery guy, getting the offensive guys going. And because the team's so young, especially on the offensive side for the for the Broncos, Joe is not the type of quarterback they need right now. They need somebody to get them up, and that upness will be infectious to the whole team. But right now, it's not.
Yeah, I got the Chargers anyway. But
yeah.
All right, so Packers versus the Cowboys. Who you taking, K-Man?
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, man. I'm thinking because I already know who you got, B. I'm gonna tell you, man. I was kind of. Yeah, I know you got the Cowboys.
Do I?
Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you, man.
You don't?
Yeah, I got him.
Yes.
I was on the fence, man, because I'm like Aaron Rodgers, man. I don't know.
Even with Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers, he won't have Devontae Adams.
No,
nope.
True.
No.
And I'm thinking, man. I think the Cowboys are going to make some corrections on their offense, and I think Zeke is going to be able to run the ball, and I think Dak might have to get out of the pocket and run a little bit, but I think he's going to hit some other people down the field. So
yeah. About the offense, Kellen Moore on Sunday night did his very, very, very best impression of Scott Linehan.
Yes, he did.
He kept calling run play after run play on first and second, on first down mainly. Kept running Zeke into a brick wall, and 3 weeks into the season, all you saw in our offense was motion, pre-snap motion. Sunday night, hardly none of that. Little man, I'm gonna need you to get consistent and get it together. Don't call another game like you did Sunday night.
But
bad memories.
Remember, this is his first season as a play caller. He's not Sean Payton, where it's like, second nature. He's not Josh McDaniels, so he's going to have to learn. And also being down on the field, he has to feel the game and feel where it's going. That's just something you learn over time.
Right.
You know what? That being said, I'm gonna pose one question. Then we go to the next game. Do you think that Kellen Moore can rise as fast as Sean McVay did as an offensive coordinator?
Yeah, he's got the talent.
I don't know. I don't know because whoever the Cowboys head coach next year, I don't know if he might keep Kellen Moore as the offensive coordinator.
Well, if it's Lincoln Riley, of course he's gone.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
But we don't know that. So.
All right. I got you. All right. So we got the Colts versus the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. Who you got, B-Wig?
I'm trying to think of a reason to pick the Colts, but I can't. I'm taking the Chiefs at home.
Give me a second, man. You stuttering number?
The only reason why it gave me pause is because the Colts are physical, but they also fell apart. So yeah, I'll take the Chiefs. All
right, K man, who you got?
I'm taking the Chiefs only because one of the reasons why they fell apart, they were missing a lot of players. Last Sunday versus Oakland, missing their middle linebacker, missing T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
And so I don't believe any of those people will be ready for this week's game. So that's why I got the Chiefs. If they were playing, I would probably pick the Colts.
Yeah.
Good point. All right. So this is the Sunday night game, man. I'm sorry. This is the Monday night game. Browns versus the 49ers. I'm taking the 49ers because, like I say, I've seen them do some things scheme-wise on offense that I was like, wow. Okay, so who you got, K-Man?
This is a hard one, only for the simple fact, I don't know. Last week, Freddie Kitchen had his boys ready, but it's his first year as a head coach. I don't know if he's going to keep that momentum going. So that's why it's a hard game for me, because if I believed he would, I'd pick him really because I don't trust the 49ers. That being said, I don't trust the 49ers, so I'm picking the Browns.
Who you got, B?
Yeah, give me the Browns. They have a new young head coach who doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but it looks as though the talent on the team is starting to mesh a little bit better. They won a game last week despite Odell having 2 catches for 20 yards. I think things are starting to look up for the Browns. Beginning of the season, it was kind of iffy, but Nick Chubb catching fire.
Yeah.
Myles Garrett loves prime time. You got talent on the outside, so I'm taking the Browns, man.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. Y'all forgot what happened last week against the Ravens. Jarvis Landry is in concussion protocol.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm not sure who the other receiver is. So look, I'm thinking there's going to be a heavy dose of Odell Beckham because the tight end in Joko, he's out.
Yeah, and the 49ers don't have anybody to cover Odell Beckham. Please don't tell me they're going to put Richard Sherman on him.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me Please don't tell me Richard Sherman's going to shadow him because Richard Sherman don't shadow.
Yeah, that's true.
So, they're gonna keep Odell on the opposite side of the field and let him eat.
All right, man. All right, so we're gonna do some parting shots. You go first, B-Week.
Very fun, eventful first quarter of the season. I think the second quarter. I think over the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to start seeing, teams separate themselves in the divisions, in the division races. With that being said, I think that it's going to be a 2-team race for the NFC East to the end, as it should have been all along. I think the Eagles are finding themselves. That being said, Jason Garrett, get it together, man. Get it together. Another week, another Sunday, your team wasn't prepared. Get it together.
Wow, good one. All right, K, man, what you got?
Brandon went with optimism. I'm going with misery. As I wiped away the tears from my face, because the team I love is 0-4. And there's no ownership, and There's 13 more weeks of this to go. I want to cry, but I'm also happy. Because one of the things I love about sports is I like roster building. And I like seeing teams who they pick as their general manager and what direction they decide to go and coach, and as far as players. As far as the overall first quarter of the season, it's incomplete. There are some things that are, as usual, the Patriots being the Patriots. There are some things that are quite confusing, like the Detroit Lions. There are some things that were easy to predict, the Cardinals stinking. But so far, right now in the first quarter of the season, as I said last week, it's a lot of new faces at the number one position in all the sports, the QB positions. So let's see how it plays out in the next 4 games of the season. Let's see what happens when Cam comes back and Drew Brees comes back.
I got you, man. My parting shot, man, has been interesting. Like I said, first 4 games of the season. I kind of want to piggyback on what B Wig said. Probably these next 4 to 5 weeks, we're going to see teams show their real and true identity of who they're possibly going to be for the rest of the season. Like I said, the NFL with this pass interference call thing, need to just stop it. Y'all messed up the game last year. Just let it go. This collective bargaining agreement about preseason is real interesting. I'm really want to see how that's going to take effect. And I got to give a shout out to Frank Gore. Frank Gore moved into 4th place in rushing. All time.
Yep.
The most disposable position in all of sports.
Right.
And this man is 36 years old. Now, he's not playing at a high level, but to be playing at the level he's playing at is genetics.
Yeah. He's not playing at a high level, but he's effective.
Yeah. The only reason I gave him a big shout out, man, because when he was at the University of Miami and he was in high school, they deemed him kind of illiterate. And somehow my man got it together, got him a tutor, and graduated on time from the University of Miami. I was like, wow, okay. And to do what he has done in the NFL, I think he's like a pretty good role model if you want to look at, like we was talking about earlier, doing the right thing, keep your body in shape. Because he's 36, like you guys just said, playing the roughest positions in the National Football League, which only has a running back has a possible lifespan of 3 to 5 years, if that.
And that's being nice.
Exactly. Yep. That's my parting shot. All right, people.
Real quick, while you was giving out accomplishment shout outs, can't sign off without shouting out my man Larry Fitzgerald. He's wasting his last years on a sorry team, but shout out to Larry Fitzgerald, moved into 2nd place on the career catches, career receptions list. One behind Jerry Rice. I don't think he's going to catch him. Jerry was being nice when he said he thinks he's going to catch him. He's not going to catch him.
And we don't want to go too long, but on the low, he might. There's a really good debate that no one's having, but he might be the greatest receiver of all time.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah.
Because Jerry was great. I mean, he was awesome. But he had Steve Young and Joe Montana.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, need we go down the list of quarterbacks that Larry has had?
Yeah, I know, right?
And people tend to forget it, but Larry carried his team to a Super Bowl.
Yep.
Not a Super Bowl win, but he carried them to a Super Bowl.
Well, he almost had that
They
win.
almost pulled it off. Yeah, almost pulled it off.
Remember, we all watched it together.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So what wasn't Kurt Warner the quarterback, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, good people.
All right, America.
Until next Wednesday.
See you when I see you.
Hump day.
Stay cool. Stay clean. Brush your teeth.
2 fingers. All right.
We out.
Peace.